All right, so you're looking for natural ways to deal with sciatica pain. And we've got all these articles here.
Right.
Some from medical practitioners, some are more general advice, all about using herbs for relief.
Yeah.
Turmeric, ginger, even apple cider vinegar.
Wow.
This deep dive is like a shortcut to sorting through it all.
It's a smart approach. Using herbs for pain relief isn't some new thing. It's been around for centuries.
Exactly, but with so much info out there, it's tough to know where to start.
Yeah.
Plus, you want to make sure you're not just masking the pain if there's a bigger issue going on.
I got it. You have to understand the root causes of that sciatica. We've got sources here talking about herniated discs.
Oh, yeah.
Spinal stenosis.
Those sound pretty intense. I remember reading that a herniated disc is like a shock absorber in your spine.
Okay.
That's ruptured, and then...
That's a good way to think about it.
Yeah.
When that nerve gets compressed, it can cause shooting pain.
Yeah.
Numbness tingling down the leg. That's what we think of with sciatica.
And it's not always something with the spine, is it?
No, it's not.
You're right.
I saw something about piriformis syndrome, where a muscle in the buttock tightens up and irritates the nerve.
There are a few different things that can cause this.
Yeah.
Pregnancy can cause sciatica.
Oh, wow.
Even something as simple as bad posture can be a factor.
So it seems like step one is figuring out what's going on with the doctor or chiropractor before even thinking about herbs.
Herbs can be great for pain, but you got to address the root issue.
All right. So say you've gotten the green light to try natural options.
Okay.
Where do we begin with this huge list of herbs?
Turmeric and ginger are two popular choices, and for good reason. They're both known for fighting inflammation.
That's interesting about turmeric. I know it's used a lot in Indian food.
But what is it about it that makes it so good for inflammation?
It's this compound called curcumin. It's really the key. It blocks the NF-κB pathway, which is a major player in inflammation. And there's research that suggests that curcumin can even fight oxidative stress.
So it's not just an old wives' tale. There's real science behind it.
Right.
What's the best way to take it for sciatica?
Well, there are a couple of options. You could brew turmeric tea, which is pretty easy. Or you could make a paste called a poultice and put it right on the painful area.
I've heard of turmeric tea. Never tried it. I'm more of a ginger fan myself.
Yeah.
Love adding fresh ginger to my stir fries.
It's so versatile.
Yeah.
And just like turmeric, it can be made into a tea.
Okay.
Or added to meals, or taken as a supplement.
Got it.
The key compounds in ginger are gingerols, which have been shown to be anti-inflammatory and pain-relieving.
So both turmeric and ginger are good bets. What about some of these other herbs I'm not so familiar with? Like chamomile. I always thought that was just for sleep.
Chamomile is definitely known for its calming effects, which is helpful for sleep, which is important for pain. But it also has these compounds called flavonoids that have anti-inflammatory properties.
So it could help ease the pain directly, not just from sleeping better.
Right, and it even has analgesic properties.
What does that mean?
It means it acts as a natural pain reliever.
Wow. Okay, chamomile is more impressive than I thought.
It is.
I'm curious about this one black seed oil. Have you heard much about that for sciatica?
Yeah, black seed oil is becoming more popular for all kinds of health benefits, including pain relief. Its active ingredient, thymoquinone, has been shown to be a strong anti-inflammatory. There's even some research suggesting it can boost antioxidants in the blood, which is a bonus.
Now this next one throws me for a loop. St. John's wort. Isn't that more for mood?
It is known for its potential to help with mood.
Yeah.
But it also has pain-relieving properties.
Oh.
It can be taken internally in a capsule.
Okay.
Or applied topically as an oil or cream.
So it's a bit of a multitasker.
Right.
Now, I got to ask about apple cider vinegar. It seems like it's touted as a cure all these days.
That's done.
Is there any actual proof it can help sciatica?
Yeah. Well, apple cider vinegar has a lot of fans.
Yeah.
But the scientific evidence for some of its supposed benefits is still being investigated.
Okay.
It's often recommended because it might reduce inflammation.
Yeah.
But more research is needed to confirm that it actually works for sciatica.
So maybe take that one with a grain of salt.
All right.
Or a shot of apple cider vinegar.
Chuckle.
What about aloe vera? I usually think of that for sunburns.
Aloe vera is great for soothing the skin. but it also has anti-inflammatory properties that could help sciatica pain.
Okay.
You can put it on topically as a gel or cream, or even eat it as juice or supplements.
Okay, so we've got options for internal and external use with that one.
Exactly.
What about valerian root?
Valerian root is often used to help people sleep because of its calming and relaxing effects.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
And it turns out those same effects can help sciatica.
Oh, okay.
It can act like a muscle relaxant, reducing tension and increasing blood flow.
Interesting. So it could help you sleep better and ease the pain.
Exactly.
We've got 2 essential oils on our list, too.
We do.
Wintergreen and rosemary.
Yes, wintergreen is known for its ability to relieve pain, but it's important to use it carefully.
Carefully? In what way?
It's pretty strong and can be toxic if you eat it.
Oh, wow.
Or put it directly on your skin.
Okay.
It needs to be diluted with a carrier oil.
Got it. Safety first.
Mm-hmm.
What about rosemary oil?
Rosemary is known for its anti-inflammatory properties and can be put on topically diluted with a carrier oil or added to a bath.
So many different possibilities. I'm feeling optimistic that there are natural ways to manage sciatica pain.
It is encouraging to see how many options are out there. And it's important to remember that herbs are just one piece of the puzzle.
Right.
Lifestyle choices are also a big part of managing sciatica.
Right. You can't just drink ginger tea all day and expect it to magically go away.
Exactly.
If you're also sitting at your desk with terrible posture all day.
One of our sources actually said that bed rest is not the answer.
Really?
Gentle exercise is important for recovery.
Gentle exercise. That sounds kind of counterintuitive when you're in pain.
I know, but think about it.
Okay.
When you don't move, the muscles in your back get weak.
Okay.
And that can actually make the pain worse.
So what kind of exercise were we talking about?
Things like water aerobics, stationary biking yoga, low-impact activities that strengthen those core muscles and help support your spine.
Makes sense. I bet stretching is important too.
Well, absolutely. Stretching helps to improve flexibility and range of motion, which can help take pressure off that irritated nerve.
Okay, so we've got exercise and stretching. What else should we be thinking about?
Posture, posture, posture. This is especially important if you have a desk job.
Yeah, I can definitely feel my posture going south after a while at my desk.
We all do. The key is to pay attention. Try setting reminders to check your posture all day.
Okay.
When you're sitting, make sure your head is in line with your hips, shoulders relaxed, and feet flat on the floor.
I like that. Setting reminders to check in with my body.
Yeah.
Now, what about diet? Does that play a role in managing sciatica?
Absolutely. Just like with so many other health issues, eating an anti-inflammatory diet can make a big difference.
So what does that mean?
That means lots of fruits and veggies, lean protein, and whole grains.
So basically all the good stuff. Are there any specific foods that are helpful?
Or harmful for sciatica?
One of our sources talked about omega-3 fatty acids and their strong anti-inflammatory effects.
Okay.
So foods like salmon, chia seeds, and walnuts.
I love all of those.
Yeah.
What about foods to avoid?
It's less about specific bad foods and more about the overall patterns.
Okay.
Processed foods, sugary drinks, too much saturated fat, caffeine and alcohol.
Yeah, those are all things we should be limiting anyway.
Exactly.
It seems like it all comes back to eating a balanced whole foods diet.
Exactly. Focus on nutrient-rich foods.
Okay.
And you'll be taking care of your body.
This has been so helpful. I feel like I understand sciatica so much better now.
Yeah.
And all the different ways I can try to manage it.
It's encouraging, right?
It is.
To know you have some control over how you feel.
Absolutely.
Welcome back. You know, as we were talking about all these herbs, I was thinking about how many of them are probably already in your kitchen. Yeah. It's amazing to think we might already have some things that could help with pain.
Right.
But sometimes, even if you have them, it can be intimidating to actually use them for medicinal purposes.
It's true.
So let's break it down a bit.
Okay. Let's start with turmeric. Yeah. We talked about curcumin being its anti-inflammatory superstar.
Right.
But one of our sources had instructions on how to actually make turmeric tea.
Oh, perfect. I've been meaning to try that. What's the recipe?
It's pretty simple, actually. You just boil some water.
Okay.
Add a teaspoon of ground turmeric. Let it simmer for about 10 minutes.
Okay.
Then strain it and drink up. Some people add honey or lemon.
Got it. That sounds easy enough.
It is.
And what about those turmeric poultices we mentioned? How do you make one of those?
For a poultice, you mix ground turmeric with a bit of warm water to make a paste, and then you just put it right on the sore spot.
Okay.
You can leave it on for 15 or 20 minutes.
Turmeric tea and poultices, got it. Now, what about ginger? Any tips for using that?
Ginger is so versatile.
Yeah.
One source recommended grating fresh ginger into boiling water for tea, or you can add it to stir fries or soups or curries.
So many good options.
Yeah.
What about chamomile? Any special brewing tricks for sciatica?
One source said to use dried chamomile flowers, about 1 to 2 teaspoons per cup of boiling water.
Okay.
Steep it for 5 to 10 minutes and then strain and drink. They even said you could drink up to 3 cups a day for maximum benefit.
Wow, 3 cups of chamomile tea a day. That sounds pretty relaxing.
It does.
What about laxseed oil? What's the best way to take that?
Usually you take black seed oil internally. You can get it in liquid form or capsules.
Okay.
It's recommended to start with a small amount and increase as needed.
So start low and go slow.
Exactly.
What about St. John's wort? Any preferred way to take it for sciatica?
You can use St. John's wort topically and internally.
Okay.
You can find it in creams and oils, or you can take it as a capsule or tablet.
Got it.
It's always best to follow the instructions on the label, though, and check with your doctor or pharmacist.
Always good advice. Now, what about that apple cider vinegar?
Yeah.
Some sources recommend it, but you mentioned earlier that we need more research to really know how effective it is.
Exactly.
Are there any specific suggestions for how to use it for sciatica, though?
One source said you could add 1 or 2 cups to a warm bath.
Okay.
And soak for 20 to 30 minutes to help relax your muscles. They also said you could dilute a tablespoon or 2 in some water or juice and drink it twice a day to maybe help with inflammation.
I love a good bath. Soaking sounds very relaxing.
It does.
Okay, what about aloe vera? We know it helps with sunburns, but how do you use it for sciatica?
You can use aloe vera topically. Just rub some gel or cream with aloe vera in it right onto the painful area. Or you can take it orally, either by drinking aloe vera juice or taking supplements.
So you could target a specific area or take it internally for more general benefits.
Right. Now on to valerian root.
Okay.
One of our sources talked about how it's a natural muscle relaxant.
Right, and that can be helpful for sciatica.
Exactly. Valerian root has these compounds called valipotriates.
Okay.
And they're thought to have muscle relaxant and anti-inflammatory properties.
So how do you usually take valerian root?
It comes in capsules, teas, or tinctures.
Okay.
The dosage depends on what kind you get. So it's always best to read the label.
Good advice. Let's talk about those essential oils now.
Okay.
First up, wintergreen. You mentioned that it's important to be careful with this one.
Yes. You never want to use it directly on your skin.
Right.
Some sources suggested mixing a few drops with a carrier oil, like coconut or jojoba, and then rubbing it on the affected area.
Okay.
You can also add it to a warm compress or a bath.
Lots of baths. And last but not least, rosemary essential oil.
Yes, another one known for its anti-inflammatory properties.
And what's the best way to use that one?
Rosemary oil can also be diluted with a carrier oil and applied to the skin.
Okay.
You can also put it in the bath. Some people like to use it in a diffuser as well.
Wow. It's incredible how many natural options there are.
It is.
But it's important to remember that these are powerful substances.
Right.
And it's always a good idea to talk to a healthcare professional before starting any new treatment.
Especially if you're pregnant or breastfeeding or taking medications or have any other health conditions.
It's all about finding what works best for you.
Exactly.
So we've talked a lot about herbs and essential oils.
We have.
But remember, lifestyle choices are also a big part of managing sciatica.
Right. We touched on this before, but it's worth exploring those in a little more detail.
Yeah, let's do it. Okay, so we're back, and we're talking about lifestyle choices for managing sciatica. I'm ready to feel empowered.
You should be.
Yeah.
It's all about making choices that will help your body heal. Let's talk about exercise.
Okay.
You might think it's weird to exercise when you're in pain.
Yeah.
But our sources were very clear that gentle exercise is really important for recovering from sciatica.
One of them even said that bed rest is not good.
Yeah, it seems counterintuitive, right?
It does.
Why would moving around be better when you're hurting?
Well,
when you don't move the muscles in your back, get weak and tight, and that can make the pain worse.
So you're saying that if you do gentle exercise,
Yeah.
it can help strengthen those muscles,
Exactly.
improve flexibility, and maybe even reduce inflammation.
Right. It can also increase blood flow to the area.
So what are we talking about here?
Yeah.
Like taking a nice walk in the park?
Walking is great.
Okay.
Swimming is good too.
Mm.
Water aerobics is especially good.
Really? Why is that?
Because the water supports your body, so there's less stress on your joints.
I've always wanted to try water aerobics.
It's fun.
Yeah.
And easy on your body.
Mm.
Stationary biking is another option.
Mm.
And yoga too.
Oh, I love yoga.
Yeah.
It's great for my mind and body.
Yoga is amazing for sciatica because it combines strengthening, stretching, and mindfulness.
Okay.
Speaking of stretching,
Yeah, let's talk stretches.
we should talk about some stretches that target those tight muscles that can cause sciatica.
I'm all ears.
One that kept coming up was the reclined pigeon pose.
Okay.
It's good for opening up your hips,
Mm-hmm.
and it can help loosen up that piriformis muscle.
I've done that pose in yoga before. It feels really good.
It does.
What other stretches did they suggest?
The supine twist is another one.
Okay.
It's a gentle twist for your spine
Mm-hmm.
that can help your lower back.
I'm writing that down.
All right? And then there's the seated forward bend.
Mm-hmm.
It's a classic for your hamstrings,
Okay.
and it could help lengthen your spine too.
Got it.
Then you've got dynamic stretches,
Okay.
like cat-cow and bird dog.
Mm-hmm.
Those are good for strengthening your core
Okay.
and keeping your spine stable.
So we talked about exercise and
Mhm.
stretching.
Yes.
Now, what about posture?
Ah, yes, posture.
I am so guilty of slouching, especially when I'm at my computer.
It happens to all of us.
Yeah.
We spend so much time sitting these days.
It's like my body just forgets how to sit right.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
But that bad posture can put a lot of stress on your spine,
Hmm.
and that can irritate the sciatic nerve.
So what can I do about it?
It all starts with awareness.
Okay.
Just pay attention to how you're sitting and standing.
Mm-hmm.
Try setting reminders to check your posture throughout the day.
Okay, good idea.
And when you're sitting,
Yeah.
remember to keep your head in line with your hips,
Mm-hmm.
shoulders relaxed,
Mm-hmm.
and feet flat on the floor.
Like a little posture check-in.
Exactly.
Okay, now let's talk about diet.
Hmm.
We talked about an anti-inflammatory diet, but I want to know specifics.
Sure.
What foods are really good or bad for sciatica?
One source said that omega-3 fatty acids are super important
Okay.
because they're so good at fighting inflammation.
Mm-hmm.
So things like salmon chia seeds and walnuts are great.
Those are all my faves.
Are they?
Yeah.
What about foods to avoid?
Yes.
Again, it's less about specific bad foods
Mm-hmm.
and more about what you eat most of the time.
Okay.
Processed foods, sugary drinks,
Yeah.
too much saturated fat, caffeine, alcohol.
Yeah, those are all things we should be limiting anyway.
Right. It all comes back to a balanced whole foods diet.
This has been so helpful.
Good. I'm glad.
I feel like I have so many more tools to manage sciatica now.
You do, and you have the power to make choices
Yeah.
that will help you feel better.
I love that. Before we wrap up,
Hmm?
you mentioned you had a thought about the piriformis muscle
I did.
and how it can be involved in sciatica.
Right.
What was that thought?
Well, it made me think about the mind-body connection. We know that muscles can get tense from physical strain.
Mm-hmm.
But what about stress from your emotions?
I've never thought about it that way.
Yeah. Could that stress or anxiety or even holding in your emotions
Mm-hmm.
be part of what makes that piriformis muscle so tight?
And then that tightness irritates the sciatic nerve and causes pain.
Exactly. It's interesting to think about, isn't it?
It is. It makes you realize that healing isn't just about the physical stuff,
Yeah.
but also about how you're feeling emotionally and mentally.
It's all connected.
Wow, what an eye-opening deep dive. I feel like I have a whole new way of thinking about sciatica now.
That's great to hear.
Yeah, and it's empowering to know that I can actually do something about it.
You can.
Thank you so much for all of this information.
You're welcome.
It's been so helpful.
Glad to hear it.
To all of you listening out there, remember that knowledge is power, and now you have the power to make good choices that will help you feel better. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We'll see you next time.